Abigail. So youth ministers from probably around the world are watching you right now. And if there was one thing you could say to those youth ministers, one nugget of truth you could leave with them, what would that be?
Well, I'm going to make it two.
Sure.
But the first is you're not alone. And the second is we need you. And when I say you're not alone, I think that youth ministry can be a very lonely calling, a very lonely vocational path to walk. And one of the things that I try to do in my work is create spaces for community and for that, just that collaboration from youth minister to youth minister that can totally change the way you see your everyday work and service to God. So you're not alone, and youth ministers are always the ones who are sort of brave enough to try new things, right? So encouraging youth ministers in that to step outside of their own congregational context and reach across the aisle to other youth ministers who might be in their area, to reach out digitally to other youth ministers, and to sort of continue the good work and connect to a network that can support them in their ministry and in this vocation. And the we need you part is, I think youth ministers are the most creative people in the church, and I think that the project of the church is going to be pushed forward through youth ministry if we do this thing right. And so I would encourage youth ministers to widen their idea of what it is that church and ministry can be, and to help to gain that agency that they need by sticking with their congregation or their context long enough to say, hey, how is it that we are thinking outside of the box for what it means to minister to young people in a changing world and in a culture that isn't necessarily friendly to the ways in which God might want to push us and mold us and call us to serve our neighbors. So I would say to youth ministers, be that creative force, be that generative force, and do that in a way that can push the project of God's kingdom forward.